You're real about it and you don't say things that aren't true. And I think you said something very, very cool. Aging gracefully is creating your own beauty standards.
I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby.
Hey, hey, everybody. Ageless Ambitions on Lux Media Studios. Today is a great day because I have such a beautiful guest who is just so innovative in her digital marketing and how she presents herself. And she's very authentic and just a beautiful person on the inside as well as out. And I want to introduce you to Sonia Valencia. I have a skincare brand, and so I was always trying to look for people and just authentic people on social media in terms of Instagram. I know you're so big on TikTok. You have over 500,000 followers in the 600,000 range with 7 million likes. So people definitely look to you for advice or information. And so I'm like, I gotta get in touch with her. So I appreciate you being here with me. And what got you started? Because it's about over 40 beauty that you talk about, and you're real about it, and you don't say things that aren't true. And so I think that's the best thing. And I think you said something very, very cool, and it was something about quoting you: aging gracefully is creating your own beauty standards.
That's correct. It is. I think for me, it started when I always was into beauty and I wasn't really into skincare. I was more into beauty because,
Okay.
I was raised of I actually raised my own self, honestly. So for
Okay.
me, I was a teen mom at age 15
Oh,
and I
wow.
lived by myself this whole time. I feel like when it came to beauty, that was one of the things that made everybody else feel beautiful and more confident. But as I've gotten older, and when I turned like 35 years old, that's when I transitioned to gray hair. And so it really changed the beauty standard of what it was. It really humbled me. And I was kind of like, man, I'm getting a little bit older and I'm not old. Like, because, and
Right.
around that time, gray hair, the movement isn't as popular as it is now. And I think it's beautiful to watch women embrace their gray hair. And, back then it wasn't like that. It was like, oh, you have a cana, aka you have a white hair. So let's hurry up
Pull
and
it.
dye it. And,
Yeah.
when I was 35, it stopped dying. So I was like, I'm just gonna see how it goes and turns out. And it really humbled me. So when I started on TikTok, I started during COVID and I started
Oh,
sharing
really?
a lot of things when it came into the makeup industry, when it was like affordable makeup. And I just shared a lot of my favorites. I think the difference between me and every other content creator is that I was a consumer just like everybody else. I wanted to make sure that if it worked, and I shared it. I had a lot of friends coming up to me asking me, like, hey, what's the latest and greatest? Because I know that you would know. And so I just kind of put myself out there on this platform that I didn't know what was going to become of it. And I just shared everything that I loved. And it went from makeup to skincare. And so when it comes to honesty, that right there, that's what kind of set me apart from everybody, because I told myself if I even get big, or I don't even know what it was, but if I get it to where I can have any brand that I want to work with, I'm going to be authentic still, and I'm going to just
Speak
apply
the truth.
products and kind of, give my review on it truthfully, because I feel like a lot of people lose that. And a lot of people lose themselves when they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you make more money, let's be honest, like everybody wants to make money. And you can do it doing it authentically, because I think a lot of times people sell a lot of products that aren't good. And for me, that's what it is. Like I tell brands, like I need to review it first before I even say yes to it, simply because I want to know if it's good or not. And if it's not good, then I won't do it. Like I say no to money all the time. I always tell people that. Like people don't believe it, but I do. Money, I say no to money all the time, simply because I look at it in a consumer way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I look at it
Right.
like, if I recommend this to the people that I love, like my mom, my aunts, like my cousins, then I need to make sure that it's like an 8 and above. Like it cannot be like mediocre. It can't be like, that's
Well,
why a
it
lot of
comes
times you don't see me like review a lot of things because I'm reviewing so much. And sometimes I'll do like paid partnerships and I have to like kind of not review during that time because I actually want to see if it works or not. So that's like how I work, honestly, when it comes to that. That's why a lot of people respect my recommendations when I do make them and when I do an ad. Sometimes people hate up on me talking about, Sonia, why are you doing it? It's an ad. I don't believe you because there's so many people doing it for the money. I
right,
just feel
right.
like people don't realize that I'm a full-time content creator now. I don't have a 9 to 5 job anymore like I used to.
That's so
So I
great.
just, yeah, so I
I
just
love
feel
that.
like,
But
um,
if you weren't okay, so like when somebody asks you to do something, because I went to influencers, right, and
mhm,
stuff like that. But if they don't really know what they're talking about, it just makes you look really bad. You know,
mhm,
even if your product is good, but the influencer is just, it goes over their head, and all they want
yeah,
to do is make the money. So that to
mhm,
me was something that wasn't working for me. You know,
yeah,
and so it's the same thing on our end. If we have a good product, it's hard to find really good influencers who really speak the truth
mhm,
and know what they're talking about. Like I had
mhm,
somebody putting on vitamin C and they're like, yeah, I use this every night. I'm like, you don't use it in the night, are you kidding me? Stuff
yeah,
like that. And it's
mhm,
like, okay, so that was worthless. So it really takes somebody that knows what they're doing. And for me, like when I see you, because I'm not really a makeup person, I never really was, I don't even wear foundation. But I'm learning from you, so it takes, especially with mature skin, because you're like, you can't do the same thing when you're 20, when you're
mhm.
40, 50 and above. So that really resonates with me. And so speaking the truth is very, 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 so good, because that's why you have 7 million likes and 600. Because if you just did it for the money and people tried the product and it was shit, I mean, you wouldn't be where you're at, you know?
But you know what? People see that. People see right past that. Like, we are
Hmm.
older. You're right. Like 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like we know better. Like we can see, we can, we can look at somebody and be like, she's bullshitting. And that's what that is. Like, I know for me, like when I see other people's ads, like I'm like, she doesn't even like that. Or she didn't even really review it. And her before and after is not even that. It's her injector injecting stuff in her face. And a lot of brands
Yeah.
now, like they're allowing that to happen. I really feel like it's super important. Like if you do get tweaks here and there, that you need to kind of post it on there saying, look, I have Botox and I have fillers. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just letting you know that your before and after is going to be different than mine because I have work done. I really think like, we have to post like it's a paid partnership, a paid ad. We have to literally put that on there. So I feel like influencers need to do that too when it comes to like real recognizes real. You know what I mean? And you're right. A
Yes.
lot of people don't know nothing about skincare. And I think, a lot of times people are like, oh, that's where the money's at. So I need to really go focus more on skincare. But if you're not applying, like you said, a vitamin C, in the
In the
morning
morning.
time, and you need to really make sure that your vitamin C is really going to help, with your sunscreen. Like you really have to speak on that. Like vitamin C only works best when it comes with sunscreen. You don't put sunscreen at 9 o'clock at night with your retinol. Like you just don't do that. But
Right.
people need to educate themselves too. It's very important, especially when you're working with the brand. Most of the time they give you creative briefs. So a lot of times you'll see like the same ad running with 20 different people and they're saying the same thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like, that alone needs to change a little bit because then you lose a lot of yourself when you
But
start creating
Sonia,
videos.
that's what marketing
Hmm.
people do when you pay them. And I've done
Hmm.
this and I've made a lot of mistakes because they do get affiliate, like an affiliate program. And
Hmm.
it was so horrible. Like it was so horrible. Like it did not make any sense. They were trying to do, like you said, the same kind of ad in a different way. It's like, no, that's not real for me. And so
Hmm.
I cut it off. I cut it off. I lost so much money doing the wrong things with certain marketing people. And I come
Hmm.
to find out that true, authentic influencers who know what they're talking about is what I went viral. I went viral with so many great influencers. And that shows that I didn't need any marketing people. I just needed to do my homework,
Hmm.
find people like you I don't even know if you've even tried my stuff yet, then that's not why we're here, because I just appreciate you. And, like I said, you have a lot you probably get a lot of PR and a lot of things, and it takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight. Like you're not going to get it one day and think that you're going to do a review on it in 2 days. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what they expect too. That's what they
They
expect
do.
too.
They do. A
Hmm.
lot of people expect that. I think for me, I'm very like, I'm not gonna review it right away. That it just comes with when I have time to do it, because we have a life outside of what we're doing too.
Social
You
media.
kind of have to shut it off. I work, I used to work every day, but now I only work Tuesday through Friday, and then everything else, like I give myself some time. If I have to give myself a day off during the middle of the week, then I'll work like on a Saturday. But I just feel like, people do expect that. But just like me, I've reviewed so many products that I don't have to sit there and review it for very long. I'll know if it's good or not. So I have
Right.
tried your vitamin C. Your vitamin C is really good. It's non-sticky. I actually like the product. And one of your moisturizers is really good too, because it's non-sticky. It feels very lightweight.
Hmm.
But I didn't review the whole thing, but I always tend to, if you have a vitamin C in there and a moisturizer or a sunscreen, those are the three things that I review.
Okay.
And the first thing that I review, honestly, is sunscreen. So if you don't have a sunscreen, I'll go in with your vitamin C and moisturizer. And if it doesn't pass my test, then I won't review the rest of them. It's just the
Okay.
fact that I know what's good. You know what I mean? So if the sunscreen isn't very good for me or isn't good for my friends that have darker skin, I won't review the rest of it. I just don't,
Okay.
because it's just a waste of
That's
like
good.
time for me. And I feel like once I do that, then I cut off a lot of things when it comes to reviewing. But yeah, I've reviewed so many products. You wouldn't even believe how many products I reviewed. But when
I'm
it comes to
sure.
skincare, it's a lot different. Makeup is a little bit easier, because you
And
either
and you
like it or
got to
you
meet
don't.
Mario.
I did. I did meet Makeup by Mario. I actually met him. They actually reached out to me so I can do his Surreal Skin Foundation. I was the first person to actually use it, over mature ladies, I should say. So there was a couple of us. He only really paid like about four of us, I think. There wasn't a lot of us, honestly.
Right.
And so
Right.
when we reviewed that, I actually met him in person. He was at the Sephora over here in the Grove. And
Okay.
I met him and he kind of looked at me and he kind of told somebody like, "Hey, I need to do her makeup." And he kind of told me, but like some people just say what they say and that's it. I just didn't really like, I just said, "Oh, okay, thank you." And I just kept it going. But he really reached out to me and we did a makeup a session. It took about 2 to 3 hours. He was very nice, very humble. I'm not used to a very matte foundation or like a matte look, but it looked very nice. Everybody was like, "Girl, you look so flawless," because everyone's used to seeing me dewy instead of matte. And
Right.
I feel like if you do like more of a matte, it makes you look more airbrushed and stuff like that. But for me, I rather look like I have healthier skin and
And you
refresh
do.
skin. And
Hmm.
that's my thing. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I like. But when you have professional makeup artists, do your makeup, you just let them do their thing. But he really knows everything about his brand. He really, really cares about every single thing that he makes. It like he says, like in the concealer that just launched, it took him like 3 years to make it. So I think a lot of times people don't realize what goes behind the scenes of how hard people worked. I mean, just like you probably work behind the scenes of your packaging, of your
Yes.
formulas and everything that you
Yes.
decided to do. And I'm pretty sure you went through like 6 or 7 vitamin C's before you got the perfect one. And so that's like really important, you know what I mean, what people stand for when it comes to their brand. Even though I don't have products, but I do have my own brand, and my own brand is
Your
just being
brand is you.
authentic and true to
Yes.
myself. And that's what that is. I have to be the same person I am. If I even get even bigger, I am it's kind of going like up a little hill, like just, patiently. I don't want it to go bam and be like the next Stephanie, aka Glamzilla, or be the next Monet. But that's what I'm saying. It's just it happens so quickly, and people just want to work with you here and there, and then there's just like there's just a lot going on. And so for us mature ladies, it's a little bit harder because we are older, and a lot of people don't know if we can sell a product, but we can sell product all the time
Oh, yeah.
because we're the ones that have the money. And I think a lot of brands forget about that we're the ones with the money. We're the ones that will buy the $135 cream. We're the ones that are going to buy that serum that's going to work, or that retinol that's going to work, or the vitamin C that helps with, like, reduce the signs of hyperpigmentation and melasma and adding brightness into the skin. But like, a lot, it's very hard out there for us, you know what I mean? But a lot of people don't talk about it. I think we just are like very grateful to be in this platform, in this scene, you know what I mean? But we put in the work just as much as everybody else does. And I think it's a little bit harder too because of how we look. We don't have the smooth skin. We don't have the 20-year-old skin. We don't have the 30-year-old skin anymore. We have the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And it's amazing to see how many content creators there are out there now that are putting themselves out there. But I can honestly say that I kind of, open the doors for them for TikTok.
Believing Before Seeing, a new book by Candace Barr, teaching you how to believe into existence. Available now for pre-order.
Did you, when you were young, like, did you love doing makeup when you were younger and that's how you know so much about it? Or you just developed it
So
as your
with
skin was
makeup,
changing?
yes, I started doing makeup when I
Okay.
was young, like 13, 14. I can do a winged
Okay.
eyeliner with my eyes closed. So I think a lot of times that's why, like, I always encourage women to do a winged eyeliner. I think people think that it ages you. Like, that's why a lot of people are like, oh, if you do this, it's gonna age you. And I do the total opposite, and I show you
But
what
the
you
thing
can
is,
do.
I don't even know what that is. That's how
A
bad I
winged
am.
eyeliner.
A
It's like a
winged,
little
so you
wing.
just go up? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a little wing.
Okay. I
And
love
you can
that.
elevate your eye, honestly, just like an half a eyelash can elevate your eye, or doing like a putting like a little bit of baby wing, it gives you a lift because we,
Okay.
as we tend to age, and the first thing that gets hooded is our eyes, and the first thing that you see is your jowls, and the first thing that you see is a lot of things sagging. Even like when you use a liner or lip liner, and you put your like a red lipstick on, you can visually see that your lips are leaning a little bit, they're sagging a little bit. It's really interesting how aging um does to the skin. But I mean, here we
Do
are,
you do
and
you do
we're
you
trying
do
to.
any kind of facial exercises or gua sha? Do you do anything like that, or you're not
No, I
into
don't
it?
do that, but I do like
Okay.
a little bit of microcurrent devices. I use
Okay.
the Shawnee Darden, or I'll use the New Face. I'll do
Oh, the
like
new face.
LED
Okay.
masks, like I'll do
LED.
facials. Yeah, I'll do like facials. I'll do like certain things, but no, I have not got no like Botox or like
I know.
fillers
I was
or
going to say you
anything
have
done.
no fillers. You have any
No,
of
I
that
don't
shit.
have
That's what you
I
said.
don't have any of that, but I think because I've been consistent and just reapplying that sunscreen, it saved my skin a little bit here and there. But I will never say no to it. I always just say right now for me, I'm fine. If I need it and I feel like,
Maybe
oh, I
down the
need a little.
road. Maybe down the
Yeah, I,
road.
I
Down
need
the
a
road.
little tweak here and there. That's what I call it. I'm gonna be saying I'm not aging gracefully anymore, but I'm aging with a little tweak here and there. So that's what I'm gonna be
Because you're
saying.
still young. You're still
I'm
young. Like
still
I'm
young. I'm
turning.
45.
See, I'm
Yeah, I'm
60.
45.
I'm going to be 65 in December.
Oh, awesome.
So, but that's why I'm saying, it's okay to. I mean, I do a little. I only do like Botox maybe once a year, just
Mhm.
once a year, and I'm trying to even take a little bit of that out so that I
Mhm.
can really, perform my skincare better. And I, like I changed up. I don't drink coffee
Mhm.
because that dries out the skin. So I've made a lot of changes like that. But if you could look in the future, like if because of all the things that you're doing, and I mean, I wish I was that good at when I go live, I think I get one person on TikTok. So I mean, it's like it's so hard to do that. And I know that it takes time and what you've
Mhm.
created is over COVID and stuff like that, but it's still so much in so little time that what you're looking forward to, because you said that, you want to do this maybe full time instead of a regular job. Like, what are you looking forward to? Because you have so much to grow
So
and
I think for me, like, I want to do a podcast like you. I think I have a
ooh,
lot to say. And a lot of people are encouraging me because every time I talk to somebody, they're like, I really need to like hear you. Like, I want to hear more of what you're talking about. Like, I really feel like you need to do a podcast. So I'm thinking about doing that. Number one.
you
Number
got to talk to
two,
my
I just,
crew. You got to talk to my crew. Okay, let's
yeah,
get
I
that
do.
one
I
down.
want to. And Second, I just want to develop my own brand when it comes to products like a CC cream, a BB cream, like some sort of skincare in the near future. I know a lot of people that formulate, I know a lot of people that do packaging. Like I've met a lot of people in the industry now to where it's kind of like, let me think about this because I know at the end of the day, I can sell my own product because I'll know everything about it. Also,
I
I
love that.
think pouring love back into myself and really travel. I've never traveled in my life, and I've been, challenging myself to do things that I would never do simply because I was just feeling uncomfortable. And that's what it is, honestly. It's not even being scared, it's just the uncomfortable of being like, no, I'm not doing that. And I would absolutely not do it. So now these days, I'm trying
You're
to do
opening
things.
yourself up a little
I'm
bit.
opening myself up
I
to
love that.
a different view on things. And
I love that
so
because
that's what I'm trying
traveling.
to do with my life. Traveling a little bit more because I did not like, you know, airplane rides. Like I'm afraid of heights. Like I be doing some stuff that
Okay.
people are like, "Girl, what are you doing with your life?" And I'm just trying to elevate it. So I think for me it's like free time. I am a full-time content creator now. I just feel
Love
now
that.
I don't have to work as much as I used to. So I feel like I created a space where I can like take some downtime if I want to. I can take like 2, 3 months off without
And that's what
worrying. You
you've
know what
worked
I
so
mean?
hard your whole
And
life to
that's why we
do.
work so hard for doing. So
Yes.
I've been putting in all the work, and I just feel like now I can really just kind of stop and smell the roses because as a Mexican, I don't know about you, but as a Mexican, we've learned to just keep it moving, like keep it moving. Like, yeah, that was nice. Yeah, I did a billboard in Times Square. Okay, what's next? Yeah, Makeup by Mario did my makeup. Okay, what's next? Yeah, I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm doing that. I really need to stop and kind of be like, oh, wow, that's so cool. And before I
Yeah,
never used to
I'm
do
telling
that.
you it's cool. I'm telling you it's cool. That is so cool. And the thing is, it's like that's what my audience, because it's Ageless Ambitions is my show, and my we're not just on the YouTube, but we're on any kind of system when it comes to podcast, and just you can hear it on Spotify, everything. And we get
Hmm.
so many compliments that we're here to inspire. We're here to show that our positivity instead of the crap that's going on in our world. It sucks. And so
Hmm.
if we can, if somebody out there that's listening to you and saying, wow, she can do it, I can do it, as your heritage or just being your age, we want
Hmm.
to inspire. And that's something that is so important to me, and the positivity out of it. And
Hmm.
so, like you said, I think I was on a live with you yesterday. I listened to you yesterday, and you were saying how people are on there BSing, and you're like, I just don't like people like that. And then they started hating on you because some of those people like this particular celebrity. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
They violated
no.
my life. That's what they were doing because they were recording it. But at the
Oh,
end of the
okay.
day, like I feel like if you have a very big platform and all you're doing is doing some BS that does not make no sense and you're just being negative about things, like don't ask me my opinion on things because I will tell you I don't shy away from telling my opinion, but I also encourage women to love themselves, pour love back into themselves, put themselves first, make sure that they have a healthy mindset so the people around them see the healthier version of themselves. And that's not including like working out or anything. It's just like a healthy mindset. I think if you
Hmm.
feel more confident, then you'll feel more beautiful. You'll start doing a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to do or you wouldn't think that you would be willing to do simply because you're like, I can't wear that red lipstick or that pink lipstick. That doesn't look good on me. But how do you know if you never tried it? You know what I mean? Or, hey, why don't you be consistent in your skincare for 30 days and you're going to love how your skin looks? So then you're going to want to apply a little bit of makeup and then you're going to want to go and, go on the date if you're with somebody. If you're single, you're going to want to go out there and talk to people. There's a lot of women
I
that are
love it.
single that are over 40 and 50 and 60 right now. Like they just had it and they're putting themselves first. So that's where pour love back into yourself comes from.
Love it.
At the end of the day, like we're all aging, we're all gonna, be at some point, we're not gonna be here. And it's really important if you do have a really big platform for you to speak on things that have helped you and share. And a lot of people don't talk about menopause and how things affect your life and how like people are in the closet when it comes to that, because people are so embarrassed by it. It's like talking about a period, honestly. People are like, oh no, I don't want to talk about it. It's like feels uncomfortable, but that's where it comes from when I say open yourself up to different views and talk about it. Because if you don't have the conversation, then you're not going to get no help. No one talks about the anxiety that you get. Nobody talks about the hot flashes, the moodiness. And people don't talk about like the people that deal with you going through that. Because as we
Mm-hmm.
know, women, like, I've learned in this industry that I've been in for 3 years that if this is the advice that I always give women, especially like young women. I'm like, if you are on the top already and you see a lot of people right here, then you should go and you should collab and elevate them, because what you're showing is women empowerment. If you are not supporting another woman, especially when they're down here where you're already up here and you already made something for yourself, and you're still over here competing with these people, it doesn't make no sense. So use your power to help elevate, to support, to do whatever you got to do to make that person feel good, because that person is going to do it to somebody else. So then it's just like a little thing to where women need to support women. And a lot of times when I was young, we didn't get none of that. We were always told like, how come you can't be like your cousin because you're a troublemaker? How come you can't be this? How come you can't be that? And I just feel like when you have a support system when it comes to women, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to evolve. Like your whole circle is going to be different. Your whole mindset is going to be different. Your whole analogy of competing does not even exist anymore, because you're right there empowering other people. And I think that's important too, especially in a social media place. Somebody that
Right.
feels like they're entitled and because they're up there does not mean anything. Like, we're all in the same space. Like, if I'm in the same room as you, that doesn't mean that you're better than me. We're in the same room.
Yes. Yes. I totally
Hmm.
agree. Yeah. I love that analogy because we can always support and help others to make ourselves better too. You know,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
love that. Well, I just, anything else you want to say? Because this has been so special to me. And I just want you to feel like whatever you want to move forward, if it's a skincare line, if it's a makeup line, if it's your
Hmm.
own podcast, I know you could do all of that. So I give you so much love to make sure that that happens for you. And I'm just really thankful for you to take the time to inspire other people on this show. So I so much appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. But I will tell everybody out there that's listening, please pour love into yourself and put yourself first, regardless if you have kids, regardless if you're a grandparent, regardless of where you are in life. Please put yourself first, so then you can be the happier version of yourself, because then that's when you will feel the most confident within
I love
yourself.
that.
And don't use filters either, because you're going to self sabotage yourself too. So take
Exactly.
photos raw. Back in the day, like in the 1990s with the little phone, there was no filters back then, but just make sure that you
And
feel
if you
beautiful.
look at your Instagram pictures and you show that like, hey, this was a great, but you also say, hey, this was a great lighting,
This
but
is
this is
great
my
lighting.
skin.
Like, lighting plays a really big part to like really good skin, and everybody's healthy skin is different. And don't compare yourself to other people, because everybody's skincare journey is different. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, everybody goes
Yeah.
through things, and always remember, like, share your journey and encourage one another and support one another, because I think we lost that.
Awesome. Hey, so let's get together. We're close.
Yes. Hit me up too.
I'm here, so I'll reach out and if we can meet up, come to Hollywood, I can come down your way and we'll just have
Yeah.
a really nice little get together.
Exactly, because I think it's beautiful to meet people in person. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to meet somebody online, but you're gonna meet the same person online in person, but better
Here you
in
go.
person,
Here you
because
go.
you'll
Me
feel
too.
the energy and the vibes.
Thanks. Ageless Ambitions on Lux Media Studios. I'm so grateful for Sonia for being here today. You guys look at all our episodes because they're so inspirational and we can't wait for you to come back next time.